Welcome to the Business Spotlight. My name is Jada Walker. I am your host for today's conversation, and my guest today is Abner Hinojo, the owner and founder of Solder Tech LLC. We'll be talking
Hey.
today about his business, the journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek at what it's really like to build and operate a business. So, Abner, welcome to the show and thank you for being here today. I'd love for you to give us a bit of your background and about who you are and tell us a bit about the business as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Um, yeah, so a little bit about myself. I'm sorry. Ask me again. Well, in what order?
You're okay. We just want to know a little bit about yourself, like your background a little bit, and the business.
Okay, sure. Sorry about that.
No, you're
Yeah,
okay.
so a little bit about myself. So I'm a Texas native, born in El Paso, raised in San Antonio, grew up in Austin, kind of thing. So been in Central Texas all my life. Um, my background includes electrical engineering. I went to school at a technical college here in Austin called ITT. Some people may have heard of it. It's no
No.
longer here. It was a really, really good school. Spit out a lot of good technicians all over Austin. I think there was just some kind of crazy, they were doing some crazy practices, and so they're no longer here. But anyhow, helped me, right? I got my degree.
Yeah.
I got into the industry, and I feel like I've done pretty well for myself, regards to that, right? And
Yeah.
so anyhow, so that's me on that end. About me, I'm just kind of a nerd, man. I'm just kind of like I love learning, I love learning. I grew up in, somewhat of a poorer background environment kind of thing and school, I didn't take advantage of the public school system as much as I should have, right? So
Mm-hmm.
um, been through a lot, but now kind of in my adulthood and I'm getting much older now actually. Like I'm really I'm really interested in like history and science and like space just freaks me out. I get like anxiety when I think about
Yeah.
space talk. It's just so much unknown stuff and you know,
You're
uh
right.
anyhow, I'm a big nerd, man. I got I got a wonderful family. I love my dog. I got a great
Oh,
wife. Located in Pflugerville, Texas. That's where we're kind of stationed at now, finally. And yeah, so without getting too much into details and stuff, my business, Solder Tech LLC, it was kind of so it's pretty new. Started it in 2001, and it kind of came from the itch of wanting to teach, wanting to educate. So as a technician, I told you about my background. As a technician,
mm-hmm.
I've been all over Austin as an engineering technician in various large tier one companies, and ITT gave me a lot of good theory, a lot of good hands-on practices as far as the electronics industry goes, and that was all great. But one of the funny things is, as a technician starting a job, you start and then they're like, "Hey, we need you to solder this chip onto this board," and you're like, "Well, shoot, I didn't learn how to do that in school." That was one of the
Right.
things they didn't teach us. I think
Hmm.
they taught us how to like turn on the solder iron, and like it was really like old Radio Shack type of really rinky-dink looking thing. And they were like, "This is how you turn it on, and this is solder, and then you apply it to the tip and it melts and stuff like that." Very, very vague, very quick. But one of the core requirements as an engineering technician, especially in hardware, is knowing
Mm-hmm.
how to solder. That's like a carpenter, and his speed square kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you really need to know how to use it, even though it's just one function of your entire sort of like your broad, duties or whatever your functions. It's just one little piece, but it's very important. And so, try not to get so deep into that because I can talk about this all day long, man. But so I started teaching because I saw that there was a big gap in the soldering industry, right?
Yeah.
And that whole side of it. Everybody's soldering from all the different companies that I had been to, their skills varied quite a bit. And like, some people I've seen just kind of do really old dinosaur methods on how to do stuff. There
Mm-hmm.
was one method, and I was fortunate enough to kind of go across various companies all over Austin and see different practices that everybody did. And so you just kind of get best practices of what everyone is doing or what works. I was kind of, analyzing what's working, what's not, and I'm just kind
Yeah.
of grouping all this information together, right? And I'm just like, this is what needs to be sort of taught, and this bubble right here, like this is the package that I need to tell somebody, because otherwise it takes years and years and years for someone like me to gain all this knowledge based off just
Yeah.
going from job to job. And so no one
Because
has.
then also, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Because then
Please
also
go ahead.
sometimes you have to source out from many different areas, like different people, like to even learn those certain skills. So I definitely
Mhm.
understand because I've had to do that through different jobs.
Mhm.
Um, and it's very difficult because then you have to do your own research and find out like who's the best, like who's actually
Yeah,
going to teach me and like do like show me how to do it. So yeah, I definitely understand you in that field. Like that's great that you wanted to change that for other people.
long story short, let me summarize it. Yeah, I saw the gap, I wanted to do something about it.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Thank you.
We need more people like you in the world.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that is great. So to set the stage for the listeners, because I know a lot of people they don't even know what solder is. So what exactly is that? Like, what do you do with that? So I know you said something about like a computer chip.
Okay, all right, sure. Here we go. Yeah. So let's see. For people not in this industry, electronic soldering is like it's the process of installing all these little components on the circuit board, right? So soldering would be that practice, right? Install the
That's cool.
installation of all the parts onto the board so that it can perform the function that it was is meant to do. Yeah. So the actual physical act, the technical sort of hands-on aspect of installing the parts, making them work with the board, because the board has all your traces, right? It has all the pathways, and soldering the parts on allows the pathways to, make the parts come alive, essentially.
Yeah. Is this
To-
kind of like the things are in what are those called? Like the old computer monitors. Like is that like the stuff that's on the inside that like if
Yeah.
you rip it apart? Oh, that's cool. That's really
So yeah,
cool.
so like a motherboard, right, is what you're thinking maybe?
Yeah.
Computer motherboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those are electrical components, and probably 99% of them are soldered into the board. Yep.
That is crazy. Because
Mhm.
I've always wondered like how that I've seen like the inside of a computer. So I'm like, how does that like how do y'all do that? So that's really cool. I'm glad I'm learning about this today. Oh my gosh. I'm like excited. Okay. So generally speaking, what does your current ownership structure look like? And are you the sole like you are the sole founder, obviously, but are there any like outside investors that you have?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. So you kind of got me at a very interesting point in my business, because Solder Tech LLC is a soldering training provider, but also I
Hmm.
provide soldering services,
Okay.
PCBA services for companies in Austin that either don't have a technician or they're pretty swamped, and or there's like a special sort of task that, it's really high difficulty in nature, and so they want to outsource that to somebody that, has the skills to do that, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I do currently, right? Solder Tech LLC. Um,
Okay.
and that's just been me by myself, right? Um, I'm starting another company called Technical Sciences LLC. This company is it's an IPC training center, and so IPC is the certification that lots of manufacturers and electronics companies in Austin and anywhere like their technicians to have, because it's sort of like the spec of that world. It's not really teaching
Yeah.
you how to solder, but it's kind of like it tells you the rights and the wrongs, the tolerances. This part is laying off of the pad by 50%. Is that acceptable, kind of thing, right? So,
Yeah.
and many other things, right? And so I'm in the process of starting up this other company that is gonna also it's gonna take over the formal soldering trainings that I do from Solder Tech LLC, but
Okay.
it's going to be the official IPC training center for Austin. And so
That's cool.
it's been me by myself this whole time, but now because it's a very big deal, there is there's people that are talking with me that own large companies and that are wanting to invest in this effort because they see how big this is. Austin has been needing it for so long. There's only centers in Houston and Dallas, and they get all the Austin business, and they've been doing it for as long as I've been in this industry, 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why is there nothing in Austin? Austin is so huge with high tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind
Because
of
I'm
weird.
like, there's Dell here, there's Apple, like all these different tech companies. Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's huge. And so that's what's happening currently. So I'm working, I'm doing the,
well,
Solder
congrats.
Tech LLC. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so
Yeah.
yeah, so it's me by myself, but I'm talking with some people and they are interested in investing in the company because they see what it can be. I did just hire a trainer, so it's just me and him essentially. And I've been sending him to get his certifications so that he can come back and then, be outfitted to teach those, right?
That's nice. That is awesome. I
Mhm.
like love that for you. I don't even know you. And I'm like, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so then tell us a little bit about the role that you play, because you did talk a little bit about it. So you obviously you educate, and then you also do some of the services. Could you tell us a little bit more about like go into more depth about the services?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, okay, so my role, so Solder Tech LLC, we'll kind of just stick to that one. Um, I do provide the formal soldering training. I feel like I'm able to provide this training to people in a manner that they're able to really retain it, really understand it really well. And like I said, I'm kind of jumbling all these years of industry sort of experience into like one class, right? Into one session.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's really nice. It's really nice to see them get that information and then they're able to just kind of excel, either, land a job that they've been wanting or get a raise or just get into that industry, right? From my trainings.
Yeah.
And then the services that role is, yeah, when I'm not training, I'm building boards. And so it's basically companies that are reaching out to me, hey, we have like 5 boards that we need populated, right? And so by populated, that means having all the parts installed, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
the reason they like to reach out to me is because there's a lot of PCB assembly companies in Austin.
Okay.
However, they have X-rays, they have, a full force of technicians that, it goes through the proper workflow. I'll just say that. It does what it needs to do, right? But because of
Mm-hmm.
that, there's a lot of overhead on just like, if they need 5 boards done, like a company needs 5 boards done, it's going to cost them 5 times more going with this larger manufacturing company because they go through all these steps, right? It goes through the whole shebang, essentially. They have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
equipment to pay for, facilities, right? This and that. And so, and the lead time is longer. It could be, a couple weeks, right? And sometimes these companies that reach out to me, they're like, hey, we designed this, but we don't want to build 100 of them yet. We just need to verify that it works, right? And so they just want
Right.
like small quantities, quick turn, like let's just say, 3 to 5 days or less, right? And that's where I can help fill uh, you know, that necessity rather.
Yeah.
So yeah, training and building boards is what keeps me busy.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just writing down a few notes about you.
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome. So when you look at your role, how many hours do you spend working in the business, like the job, and then how many do you spend on the business for like strategy and planning and etc.?
Yeah. So I'm just kind of like it's just myself right now. And so it's hard. It's hard because I'm not a business major. I'm not a marketing major, right? And so
Right.
you have to do all the roles that any functioning company entails, and you're doing
Right.
it, and you're just kind of you're winging it essentially. You're making it work, right? But the reason you're making it work is because you're passionate about what you're doing, and so it's
Yeah.
like I got to do sales. Okay, like you do a really good job at sales. I have to take care of my finances and get organized. You do a really good job. You start just digging into everything that comes your way pretty much. And you have to sort of become an expert at it, you know. But,
Right.
but gosh, it's not my what do you call it? It's not like my bread and butter, right? So
Right.
it sure would be nice to have a team, that like takes care of these things and they're so
Yes.
and things like that. Because you're right, because I do the building and then in the evenings I'm like doing invoices, I'm doing quotes, responding to emails and things like that. And I'm trying
So
to
it's
be
almost like you're like all around the clock, basically working on the business.
That's correct. That's correct.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
And is it sustainable? Probably, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal for
Right,
just
right.
like work-life balance. But like I said, things are changing because of this other company that I started, and it's gonna sort of move a lot of things to a different entity, and that's gonna receive a lot of assistance. There's gonna be a ton of assistance on that side, and I may just kind of have Solder Tech LLC as a, just PCB services type of business eventually, you
Yeah,
know, strictly.
really cool.
Mhm.
And a little less stressful for you.
A little less stressful.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of the business itself, let's look into your background a bit and what led you here. So, why did you choose to go into business for yourself as opposed to choosing to work for someone else?
Okay. So yeah, so I do have there is a confession. So I do work for someone else. So I'm
Okay.
I'm juggling a lot of things right now. But the reason I'm working and I don't want to say the name of the company. They're just know that they're I would say the top three Titan giant electronic companies like in the world kind of thing. Okay, it's one of those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those guys. But
Well, good. Look, I'm like, you are so smart. Like, I want to know you in person. I'm like, I need you in my circle. This is so cool.
thank you. So I do work for them, but I was passionate about starting up this business, right? And
Yeah.
at first it was just going to be like, hey, this is really good extra vacation money, or this is cool, like, supplemental income. And
Yeah.
it was good supplemental income until about 2 years ago. And then I started making just about as much as I'm making at my full-time company, right? And so I'm like,
Oh,
well,
okay.
like I'm really busy, right? Like this is crazy. But then so I knew it was doing a lot more. I was busy. I did hire out, I do have, what's cool. I'll tell you this is that whenever I do my trainings, my soldering trainings, I get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
hungry people. I have a lot of hungry people coming in my classes that are like, "Hey man, like I really like this." Like they're really passionate about it and they're like, "If you have any side work or do you have any projects that you can offload, let me know." And so I pretty much have like this huge network of people that are ready to like assist me for assembling jobs. If I'm like, if I have too much going on, I'm like, hey, dude, I got these, 10 boards. Here's the parts, here's
Oh,
the
that's awesome.
instructions or whatever. And so I have a pretty good, I have a good network as far as that goes.
Yeah, with a great network.
Yeah. So where was I with everything? Okay. What made me want to start my own versus working for somebody? So uh I'm it's scary, okay? I'm not gonna lie, right? It's scary. And this is the same feeling a lot of people have whenever they start a business. It's like, dude, like I'm really passionate about this, but I'm afraid to leave like my 9 to 5, my security
Right.
blanket. It's paying like the insurance, right? And so what I'm doing with the whole business is now moving forward is the technical sciences, which is the IPC training center. The reason I wasn't able to do it before is because it's a very resourceful intensive class as far as my time. I can do
Mm-hmm.
mornings, I can do evenings for my side business, right? For Solder Tech LLC.
Right.
But for the IPC training, it's a 8 to 5 Monday through Friday situation for those classes.
Right.
And I couldn't do it uh, until this year. I found a partner and I hired him, right? I hired him as my trainer.
Good.
And so because of that, I'm like, you know what? This is great. I can operate these things sort of like it's going to be a heavy year. It's going to be a busy year and next year probably
Right.
as far as my involvement, but I can see it being where it kind of starts being very steady, very secure, and I don't need that much involvement. And I have my trainer taking care of 90% of the trainings. And so that I'm okay with that model. Now, if
Yeah.
it's a little bit too crazy, then I'm like, all right, then I'll have to jump ship, but it'll have to be pretty nice before I jump ship. I feel because I'm very spoiled at my job right now, to be honest, man. Like it's because I'm very I'm very top at my role. And so it's
Yeah,
funny because I've never worked so like less and made as much as I'm
much,
making
much.
now. Yeah. And it's
It's
because
like
like
it's easy right
it
now.
it is. It's easy for me because it is my bread and butter. It's what I do every day. It's what I'm great at, and so it comes easy. And so, but I'm trying to get these things running in the meantime. I don't feel I need to
Yeah,
jump ship in order to be successful with that business. So I'm gonna do that as long as I can, and I encourage a lot of people to do the same if you're able to. Some people can't, but if you're able to, absolutely, because you need to make sure, I guess, in a way. That it's gonna do, or things are moving in the direction that you want it to, at least for you to
right.
get kind of assurance that, okay, this can work. And so, yep.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. And I love how you gave advice to other people. Like, definitely basically go for your dreams. Um, so as you look back on your journey so far, what has been the most memorable roadblock or hurdle that you were challenged with that you were forced to overcome?
My anxiety. Oh my gosh, the self-doubt, the anxiety, the like I just discussed, like you're working somewhere and you might be in a good situation, but you're really passionate about something else. And so you're like, I really love this. Because honestly, like that's living, man, to be honest. And like, some people, and it's unfortunate because some people are in a situation where they're doing what they love, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, man, I love my job. But then some people are like put memes of like, oh, you don't want to just work for your employer all your life or whatever. But honestly, if you love what you're doing, like it's kind of like it's
Right.
enjoyable, right? But not everybody has that case. And so, so what my hurdle is like, you know, leaving the situation that I'm so comfortable in, uh, going to something where I got a family, I have 4 kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got 4 kids, a mortgage, I got a dog, like, she's cute. She requires some attention. And so
Yes.
it's just scary because I don't want to, make this strictly only for men, but as a man, and maybe a single mom or maybe just mom, right? A woman,
Mm-hmm.
anybody, if you're the provider of a household, you have this like weight on your shoulders and you feel
Yes.
you don't want to let your family down, right? And so that's a big scare. That's kind of the sort of the freezer, right? What makes you get stuck from pursuing
Mm-hmm.
something because you're like, oh no, like I don't want to fail. I need to keep putting food on the table,
Yeah.
right? This and that. So, like I said, like if you're able to do both until you see something kind of, turn into what it is that you're wanting it to be. Um, but that was my biggest obstacle. And honestly, I thought about doing this years before I actually did it. I thought about doing this maybe a couple years before I actually took the leap to.
Actually jumped.
Hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's how it is with a lot of people. Like they sit there and like it's not like they sit there like actually sit there still, you know what I mean? But it's like you
Yeah.
sit there and you just constantly think about it, like when is it gonna happen? When am I gonna do it? And then finally you just take that leap and you're like, oh, like this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, yeah, and it gives you so much more confidence. I'll say even just like getting your LLC or something like that, right? Going to the Department of Treasury, or I don't know,
Yeah, I
wherever
was
it
gonna say, what is the process
is.
of doing that? Like I've never even talked to anyone about that before. Like what was that process?
Man, look, just Google everything, literally, for real. Like you want like how do I get my LLC in Texas? And then it'll say contact the Treasury or department or whatever you're in. So I'm like, okay, where's the office? And I'm call them up and they're like, yeah, you need to come in to do this. And I'm like, okay, so then I go in. You're just kind of like going off of your drive, you
Oh,
don't, some people are fortunate to have this whole team of like uh mentors and like counselors and things like
yeah.
that. But like if you're just doing it on your own, like you can still do it on your own. Just use Google, man. Use your resources, but use the drive that you have in you to kind of push you,
Push
right?
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to what makes your business so special. So, who primarily does your business serve? Like, if I was in the audience, how would I know that I'm a good fit for your services?
Yeah, so what's crazy is who does my business serve? So I'll tell you about the people that have come into my classes. So it's either electronics professionals that are already in the industry. They could
Mm-hmm.
be a range of technicians to software engineers, hardware engineers, mechanical engineers. All right. That's on my field side of things. But then there's hobbyists. There's people that just love electronics and they're like self-taught, they got this drive and they're like, all right, like I know what I want to do, but I can't do it because I don't have the skills. But then they take my training and then they can like, build their own stuff and be just the sheer geniuses that they already are, from
Yeah,
all this self uh driven motivation. But my trainings most benefit anyone that is interested in stepping foot in the electronics industry, whether it's manufacturing, whether like assembly, or whether it's in an R&D lab as an engineering lab technician. Um, and my training serves literally any electronics company, any company that makes electronics. They have to have some kind of technician that repairs them or that works on them. So like it's a skill that anybody in electronics should have, to be honest. Absolutely.
great. I love that. You said so many different areas that I'm like, I didn't even think of all these different
Oh
like
man,
different jobs.
anybody.
Like,
Even mechanics, yeah, mechanics, electricians, like anything that deals with like power, electricity, more than likely there's a circuit board. And if you can, work on that circuit board or, do things to it, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I like that. Okay. So what makes your business unique? How do you communicate what makes your business stand out against the competition?
Yeah, so okay. The IPC training stuff, that's not very
Mhm.
it's a national standard, but nobody teaches it in Austin, and so I'm just trying to take advantage of that, right? I want to be the Austin location for that. Nothing
You're
really
like, I want to be the number one, the
exactly,
top.
yeah, exactly. So nothing really unique about that side. What makes my business unique is people are receiving their soldering training from somebody that's a veteran in the industry, somebody that's a subject matter expert in the industry, somebody that's at the top right now of their position at the top employer in the world. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I know the I deal with the hardest of the hardest, I deal with the smallest of the smallest, and you're getting all this information from somebody that loves to teach it. I don't just retain this information. I don't just know how to do it. I love to teach it, and I love to have people know um, how to do what I do, and just to have them just kind of like snap, be like, oh, wow, like that's really cool. And now they can watch like all these YouTube videos and like they follow along what's going on because, they understand there's a lot of fundamentals that I present in a clear manner that people can get it and just kind of excel from there. And nobody does that. There's uh,
No.
formal soldering training, even the IPC stuff. Some
Hmm.
businesses will have formal soldering training as an additional service, but these guys, they're not industry experts, or maybe they were back then in their prime days, but they've been around for a long time, and that technology back then has since changed. And like I said,
Yeah.
I'm dealing with this with cutting edge technology. I'm an expert at
It's
it.
like you're willing to do the changes with the technology, which is always changing. I feel like every 2 days,
It's
but
absolutely always changing. Yeah.
but like there's people who are in the industry, obviously, who aren't doing that. Of course, I feel like there's people like that in every industry, of course.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I like how you're like saying up to date. Like you want to be able to be that person for everybody, or like that's really nice.
Yeah. You're getting cutting edge from me, bottom line, and I can teach it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one thing you wish more people knew about your business?
Wow. So what do I wish they knew more about my business of? I can't really say. You know what I wish they knew, actually? That it's just me, like it's this name, right? This name that has been floating around Austin now for the last 4 years at all the large employers at Apple, AMD, Bay Systems, Dell, C Semestro, Cirrus Logic. Y- all these top employers, all these top manufacturers in Austin, and they see the name, they see the website and stuff, but at the end of the line, end of the day, it's just me. I'm just like one little
Yeah.
person and stuff, and so yeah, I kind of wish that they knew, like, hey, it's just this guy right here, but I present myself professionally whenever I'm doing emails and be like, oh yeah, like
Yeah.
we'll
I
take
was
a
gonna say
look
the
at
way you
your
carry
request, this and
yourself,
that, but it's
even
just
your website, I was like, this is very like, and hearing you say it's only you, I'm like, that's very professional. Like the way your website looks, like you are good. Like you are
thanks,
on your
yeah.
way. I promise. Like if people don't know who you are, they will know because I'm gonna go around town telling everybody here in Austin, like you need to go to him, go to
Thank
Abner.
you. Yes.
I love this. So this is going to lead me to marketing, which is something that's obviously vital for every business out there. Often an area in which business owners struggle with, which I know we did kind of talk about it. So I'm always curious what successful businesses are doing. What percentage of your monthly sales, if you even do this, of your monthly sales, typically is invested back into your marketing budget?
Okay. So interesting question because so Solder Tech, the funny thing about it is
Mm-hmm.
I've done literally zero marketing. I've done just social media, that I'm like really bad at keeping up to date. And so everything, the reason I knew that it's going to do well is because everyone has found me with just an organic search, such as soldering services in Austin or soldering training in Austin. And boom, I'm the first result. And so I'm kind of like, I'm letting that go as is, as it's going. However,
Yeah.
with this other company that I'm doing, Technical Sciences, I'm gonna be marketing heavily with that company, and so that's gonna be something new for me, and it's gonna be exciting because Solder Tech is doing really well with zero advertising, and
Yeah.
I kind of have left it that way because I knew that I was gonna be working on this other business, and so I'm kind of investing more of my resources into the new business. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of, like I said, I'm going to let Solder Tech sort of just kind of do its services um, thing only for a bit. Maybe phase out totally. Maybe I'll migrate everything over to Technical Sciences. But I'll be able to, I'd love to follow up with you on how marketing and investing in marketing is going to be working out for me with Technical Sciences because I think it's going to be huge.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty huge. Mhm.
Yes, I would love to see that, especially like because I'm a social media person. Like I love to be on social media. I see all the ads, and I'm like, oh yes, I need to buy this. Like, thank you for coming on my screen. Um, so yeah, I love that for you. Like if I see you on there, I'll be like, oh, that's happening. I would
Thank
be
you.
so happy. That'd be great. Awesome. Um, so what approach have you taken to track your leads? Like, do you have a CRM that you'd like to use that you prefer?
A CRM. This is, what is that?
So it's basically
A customer.
like where you would have like all of like literally where you have like all of your customers, where you like manage them and like you have like their phone numbers or like emails and like notes about like what you've done for them type of thing. Just so that you can like I guess kind of like go back and um sometimes people like to just like catch up with people or like, just go back and be like, hey, like I know we did business with you however long ago. Like, is there anything else that you might need? Blah blah blah, that type of thing.
Got you. Okay, yeah, 100%. See, so these are like, real business things, right? And so,
You're
to
like, I haven't gotten that far.
listen, to everyone watching this, guys, look, it got me at a time where I'm learning how to do everything. I'm trying to, keep my head above water with all the tasks, but I'm growing. The business is growing, and so this is definitely going to be one of those items where I'm going to be focusing a lot of attention. I did hire a consultant, and she's kind of keeping me on track. She's project managing a lot of the efforts I'm doing with technical sciences because it's very workforce related. It's
Yeah.
very, very, very workforce related. Like Texas Workforce Commission is dying to have this uh, be done because they're the demand is there. They're trying to get people trained up. They're trying to get everybody certified. And so I got this really awesome person that is keeping me on track, and she's getting sort of my state application kind of going and things like that, so I
Oh,
can be
good.
an approved vendor, to provide these services for the state, right? For schools, public schools,
Yeah.
all that stuff. And so she's asked me once or twice about my she wants to see my documents. She wants to see what I have. And I'm like, okay, it's all up here, or in my emails. And she's like, no. She goes, we need to get you
Like I need it
much
on
more
paper.
like,
Like I need it on something.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna get there, guys. Like, let's do this in a year, and like, please ask me all these
Then you're
questions.
like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
At least you're headed in that direction. Like you know that you need it and
Yes.
you know it's gonna get done.
Absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh, that is so funny. I love it though. All right. So moving on from marketing to sales, what does
Mhm.
your sales process look like? Like if I were to refer someone over to you, what can they expect to experience as you guide them on the choice to do business with you?
Okay. Such as somebody that's interested in my services. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so so I definitely like okay, so whenever I engage with somebody, so usually I'm replying to the online request submission sort of replies
Mm-hmm.
that they send me via my website. So yeah, I definitely reach out to them. I'm like, hey, thank you for your interest in these services. Let me know, let me know your availability. We can have a quick 5-minute chat to see, what your interests lie in. Because 9 times out of 10, people, they may tell me, hey, I need to get IPC certified. And to me, I'm like, okay, I know better than that. Because the thing is, people, IPC, that certification is thrown around so much that a lot of technicians or people that want to land a job in manufacturing, that's what they hear. That's what they see the employer say, oh, like we want our technicians IPC certified. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like, yeah, that's great and all, but only receiving your IPC certification is like a beautician, uh, s- getting their license in beauty school and
Mm-hmm.
never cutting hair before. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the
That'd be
thing.
crazy.
You have to you have to learn how to solder first, right? And that's the thing. And then I kind of engage and I ask those questions with them. I'm like, hey, so do you have any soldering experience? What are you trying to achieve? And then, based on what they tell me of what they're trying to do, I'm like, hey, I strongly recommend the fundamentals course. You want to get a good solid foundation on the soldering process before you go, and like IPC is great and everything, but it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
teach you how to do the actual task itself. And that's going to be more valuable to the employers than having the certification, because they're going to be like, but even the employers sometimes don't know, right? Like HR, they
Right.
see like, oh, this guy has, this and this certification. All right, good. Like, let's hire him. But then they don't really understand yet. IPC is just a standards certification. It's not the actual, task of doing
Mm.
it, right? And so, and
Yeah.
that's where I clarify up a lot of information for them, and I just kind of guide them to kind of figure out what it is, what do they really want to do. I'm like, yeah, sure, like let's do IPC, but if I know that they don't need IPC, like I'm not gonna sell them that. I'm just gonna be like, you just need to learn the fundamentals, and you can like grow from there, And
I like how you're like straightforward with it. Like you're not someone who's gonna be like, oh, you need this when you don't need it. Like in college, whenever they tell you you need these random, what are they called? They're like a specific set of classes. Like they call it something specific, and I'm like, I don't need these. Like this isn't going for my career. Like
Yeah,
makes
and
no
you know
sense.
what? Yeah, and to be honest, like I've lost a lot of, I wouldn't say lost because I never had it, but like I've turned down a lot of opportunities for making more
Mm.
money just because I clarify to the businesses like, hey, actually guys, like sometimes they want to certify their whole team, to be IPC
Oh
certified,
dang.
but really it's like if they want to, they're just trying to meet these like audits, right? The, audit
Mm.
requirements.
Yeah.
And the audit requirements are they just need you to have an IPC certified technician per shift, right? And so instead of
Mm-hmm.
them, spending money on like 8 people, they really just need it for like 2 people. And so they
More. Yeah.
appreciate that. And so they definitely keep coming back for that. Yeah. I'm like, shoot, missed out on a lot, but that's okay. It makes me feel good, right? It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
They're getting what they need. I feel good, not being one of those guys, right? So
Mhm. Right. Because then it's like I feel like whenever you're like that, you're more likely to have people recommend you to other people as well because they're
Yeah,
like,
just like
he's not gonna just like hassle around with you. Like he's straightforward. He tells you exactly what you need, all of
mhm.
that. And I
Yeah,
like people like that.
like the forever hunt for an honest auto mechanic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah.
Or like just someone to change my oil, like and be like
And not
that's
say
all I
that I
need.
need
That's
my brakes changed too, kind of thing.
yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what? How did you even know that? Like, why are you looking at my brakes? I didn't tell you to do all that. So I know you did say you don't technically have like a whole team yet.
yeah.
You do have like you said you have a trainer and then
We
you
got one
just
hire.
hired the consultant. So whenever you are hiring, what has been your approach to hiring and retaining team members?
Yeah, man. So this is very exciting for me because being able to afford one person was huge for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's somebody that I'm kind of like, hey man, like, you know, pay is like okay, but like just stick through it with me kind of thing. And like next year, like we're gonna explode. You know, like
Yes.
I did the chat GPT analysis. Like I had my consultant kind of verify that on her end and stuff. And
Hmm.
it's looking pretty lucrative. And so we just need to get there though, right? We just need to like
Yeah.
actually open up and like see how the trainings go, see how are we swamped, are we booked every week, like what do we need to do, more outreaching, right, more marketing or more shows or whatever. And so, you know, don't know yet, right? But with my one person, I think the best retainer that I could have offered him is like, hey, like definitely, you know, promising him some type of percentage of like excellent performance of excellent kind of revenue coming in, right? So I guess that would be like a bonus, right? I don't, you know,
Hmm.
that's big talk for me, you know, that's big employer talk. But like, you know, promising him that, definitely the work-life balance. Like I'm doing most of the work up front to have him kind of set up in the easiest position possible. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, as people do certain roles better, right? And so,
Hmm.
and that's what he wants to do. He's like, hey man, like you tell me where to go and I'll go. You tell me what to do and I'll do it. And so I think he appreciates that I'm not having him too involved in like, you know, any kind of sales
Yeah.
or any
Like
kind of
the business
strategic.
side. He's like, just keep
Exactly.
me on the teaching.
Yeah. Tell me when to show up and like this and that. And so I think he appreciates me uh giving him what he loves to do. And so
Yeah.
I think maybe that's a good message to any employer is like, you know, if your employees like love doing a specific role, um, don't give them more shit. Like don't give them more stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
keep them happy, you know, keep them doing the job that's keeping everything, all the wheels turning.
Going.
If he's doing very
Yeah.
well, leave him alone, man. You know,
It makes a lot. It makes so
let,
much more sense.
let them reach out to you if they want more growth opportunity, to be honest, because I think what a lot of employers do, especially me, I'm in the corporate world still, is that
Hmm.
they always want to put you on some kind of growth plan and stuff. And it's kind of it's good. It's good if you're wanting to do extra things, but sometimes you just want to be an expert at what you do and then just
Right.
do your thing. Like if you love what you're doing, like, you know,
It's
yeah.
just like with certain specialists, like doctors who specialize in certain things. It's like, yeah, just let that person specialize in that one area, and if they that's what they like. If they want to branch out, let them branch out on their own. They will do that, and if they don't, then they don't. Like it's just what it is. What it is, basically.
Yeah, people are so much more happier. They'll do a better job if they're doing what they love. So, you know,
Yeah,
yep.
I like that. Let's fast forward a little bit because we've already been talking about the future of your business and another business, and so let's look at what's to come next. Where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, so that's cool. So I'll tell you like in a literal standpoint. So currently, so I'm in my garage. So I've been operating for 4 years in my garage.
Is that
Uh,
where you currently are right now?
I'm in my garage, man.
I couldn't even tell. I could not.
Yeah, I have a whole lab in here. But check this out. I am already working with a realtor. We already have a space that we're looking at. We're about to sign, and it's going to be located in Northwest Austin. And so I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I'm getting the brick and mortar
You know, I
location.
might see you. I live in Northwest Austin, so I might end up
Yeah,
seeing your business. I'll take a
yeah.
picture and be like, ah.
Yep, yep, yep. So I'm really excited about that. So that consisted of a 2-year lease, and it gave us obviously more space in my garage, but it gave us enough space to conduct the core businesses that we were wanting to do, plus keep it a little bit fun, like a little small lounge
Yeah.
area, ping pong table, right? I
Oh,
think that's
that's
important to
cool.
me. That's important to me because people, once you're an IPC training center, people can choose any center in the US, but they want to visit cool places, right? I'm not going to go visit,
Yeah.
place in the sticks versus, well, maybe, I don't know, you like that, right? Maybe you need to get away. But like, uh,
Right.
but I'm gonna pick something that is like that has a cool nightlife, that has a good like, hey,
Yeah.
I live in Colorado. I've always wanted to visit Austin. Like, I'm gonna pick Austin, and I strategically chose it to be kind of nearish the domain area, so people can have, good nightlife, good restaurants. The company's paying for the flight, they're paying for the meals anyways. So like, let them enjoy and explore the city, right? So,
Yeah.
so I got a space a little smaller than, what I was envisioning as like my you know, forever office or whatever, but
This is just the startup.
it's good. Yeah, it's good. And in 5 years, man, I see myself like in a really sweet spot, like um the business just kind of doing itself, you know what I mean? Taking care of itself. I don't know where I would be. I'm hoping I would not be with my employer anymore in that time frame, because that means that it would just be doing so well that I can finally leave and do what I really love 100% of the time. It's so conflicting because I landed my dream job, but then this training is like my like diehard
Like
passion,
that's your, yeah.
teaching people. So then I'm like, dude, like I finally landed my dream job 4 years ago, and then I'm like doing this now. So I'm doing two things that I love, but I think, in all honesty, and this is for anybody that's juggling two things, you're not able to give 100% to either one whenever you do that. And so keep that in mind. And so the good thing I enjoyed about my employer is that I was at the top of where I'm at, and so my duties were lighter, or it felt easier, right? But they were a lot more laxed, and I was fortunate
Yeah.
to land in a company that lets me come in from between 8 and 11 or something and leave at, flexible hours, right? And so
Yeah.
I was lucky there, um but I'm still not like, as far as growth or projected growth within the company or whatever, I'm really not. I'm just kind of doing what I need to do to keep everybody happy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then my business is like, I'm not spending those core hours on my business that I could be to really optimize it. So it's neither one is getting 100%. So that's kind of the struggle of somebody kind of doing
Mm-hmm.
both things, so keep that in mind. Don't overwork yourself too much, guys, because it's a thing, but if you're really passionate about it, like just keep that kind of, that image near, right? That vision near,
Yeah.
because that's what you want to work for. You
Almost like
have to
a,
have a
like keeping
goal.
a vision board.
You have to have a goal. Otherwise, you're just kind of like, where am I going with this? When is this ever going to stop? Because
Yeah.
I haven't imagined myself I haven't had just free weekends in years
Mm-hmm.
because of this. And so I'm like, hey, like I don't like this. I need to make a decision soon. Doesn't have to
Right.
be right now, but it has to be soon, because that's what life is
Yeah,
enjoying.
because you're missing a lot. Like, there's a lot happening all the time, especially in Austin. Like, there's something every day. I'm like, it's almost
Oh,
overwhelming. Like, I
I
love
still
it. I love it.
yeah.
But it's almost overwhelming
No.
with all the stuff that's going.
I still do it, but I would like to attend not tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to be like wanting a nap in 10 minutes.
Yep. Yep.
That's exactly, I know how you feel. My boyfriend, he's the same. Like, he tells me every day. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know. But I totally get it. And then, so you did just mention about goals. I love that. What has been your approach to setting goals? And how many goals do you set at a time?
Yeah, so I strongly believe there should be like an ultimate vision, right? But I think that should be very far out. Well, not very far out, but don't worry about that one yet, right? Like, have your ultimate goal and then have it like boom on a little post-it somewhere. And then my strongest uh the way I've been strongest is having a lot of short-term goals, and I have to write everything down. I have ADD, I think. I really think I do.
I almost
I'm
think
just all over
everyone
the
does
place.
a little
You
bit. Like,
know, yeah, man, especially I think I'm 42. Okay. I think our generation, like we grew up like doing a lot of stuff that wasn't really like proven, or like maybe our parents actually, I think that's maybe what it was. Our parents were
It's
like,
a,
heating up styrofoam plates in the microwave and like, you know what I'm
oh
saying?
my
Like stuff like
gosh.
that. You know what I mean? There
Yes.
was a lot of stuff that our parents were doing or that we were doing growing up that were like, no, those are very bad things to do. And so I don't know. I think maybe you're right. I think a lot of folks
I swear it's like
may have
everyone does a little bit. I'll be doing something and I'm like, man, I swear I have like ADD or something like
it's hard,
something.
man. It's hard. Don't put me in front of a screen too long. I'll start browsing Amazon or like I'll start like researching
Hmm.
like, equipment or something. So, anyways, like um the goals, I write everything down. Okay. I have this little like engineering notepad or whatever. It's cool. It has all the little squares, the little grid pattern. And I like it because I guess I'm somewhat OCD too, because it keeps everything in line, like in little rows and stuff if I need it. But I write everything down. And then I can translate that over into like, an Excel sheet or a notes document or something like that. But I like to see my to-do list. If I don't write down my to-do list, I get very lost. And uh,
Yes.
and what I like doing on my to-do list is then, and this is just really basic stuff. It's just kind of ranking each one. Which
Right.
one's the hottest thing? Which one am I able to do right now? And so I just start knocking those things out. And then my list, it's huge, right? But my list
Hmm.
does start getting smaller. And then whenever I see
Yeah.
the progress happening, that makes me feel good. But if I don't write it down, if I'm not proactive on making the notes on every kind of bullet item, then it's easy to get lost, right? I don't have
Yeah.
a whole team doing this, right? Whenever you're doing it yourself, you need to do things like that to keep yourself in line, right? And
Yeah.
on track. And so that's what I do.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Abner, you really have an interesting story. Like,
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna go rewatch this a million times after they post it. So
Thank you.
as we wrap up, I do have a few rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. So what is the key to success for you?
You want to know something funny? Key to success. So I didn't finish high school. This is a whole nother thing. I didn't graduate high
You know,
school.
it's crazy. You're like the second person since I've moved to here that has told me that. And I was like, what? Like,
Yeah,
what? But that, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. I grew up very rough, and I didn't graduate high school. I got sent away and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
When I was in the kind of like a therapy kind of environment, counseling environment situation. They did a lot of things like this. They're like, make your little sayings, right? Make your little motivational sayings. And one of my
hmm.
sayings was the key to success is education. So don't try picking the lock. This is OG Abner material right here when I was like 16. The key to success is
Wow.
education, so don't try picking the lock. So in other words, you don't go around it. That was my belief back then. That's so funny that you bring that up because I haven't thought about that in years and years.
I love that. Like, that's crazy that you like had that at 16. Like, I wasn't thinking about that at 16. I
Yeah,
was thinking about what sports I was playing. Like,
yeah,
what was I going to
yeah.
eat the next day? All that. Like,
Yeah.
not thinking
Well,
about what success is.
no, well, because when you're institutionalized, you kind of you have to think a little bit different, right? Sports are not there.
Right.
But
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
love that. I'm going to
but
write
yeah.
that down.
I would 100% say that that's still valid for me. It doesn't have to be a community college. It doesn't have to be an associate's degree. I would just say just keep learning. If you
Yeah.
see something that you like, learn about it. You have an unlimited resources with the internet. Doesn't even mean you have to get a certification on it. Just go learn. Go look it up. Pull it up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I might actually post that quote on my Instagram later.
You
I don't know if you came up with it, but I'm going to say you did. I'm going to put
better reference
your
me.
name. Yeah, I will. I definitely will. Alrighty. What is a piece of advice that you have for other business owners?
Yeah, man. So as you guys like happen to see this whole amateur hour on me or whatever, like the peanut gallery business owner over here. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting, guys, because I'm glad actually I was able to share because you saw me in a moment where I was like, making just a little bit of side money versus like, oh, okay, now it's making more money and now it's actually I'm migrating it to be this like training center and like the workforce. is looking at me, large organizations in Austin are looking at me, businesses are needing it, right? Like I'm in this growth stage where I'm like, wow, like it's just me, but it's gonna be something really big and really significant. Um, and it took me, like I said, it took me a little bit to kind of get here because I was fearful, and a lot of it goes back to my childhood. Growing
Mhm.
up a little bit rough, and kind of the stereotypical, single, like no father figure kind of thing, right? And like you fall into a lot of these traps, and not traps, but you make bad decisions, right?
Yeah.
So success for me didn't seem really realistic for a long time. And so what's funny is that a lot of that still kind of follows me. When I start imagining myself successful, when I start imagining that my business could be a $1 million business, when I start thinking about that, I get so frozen and so
Yeah.
almost scared. And it makes me not want to do anything.
Continue.
It makes me fearful of success. And
Yeah.
that is my sort of biggest obstacle. And if anybody out there listening kind of feels the same way, you're your biggest enemy, man, but everything anything is possible. And like coming from me, I didn't have any money given to me for this. Like I did it all from scratch, and I did it all because I really wanted to.
Right.
It's
You're
something
literally in your garage right now.
It's something it's something that I really wanted to do. I wanted to make it happen. I saw a vision and I didn't want to stop until it got there. Yes, like the nerves and everything was a big factor, but once you start doing it, you get more confident in yourself, and what it wasn't a New Year's resolution, but this year I vowed to anything that makes me feel uncomfortable or makes me feel like frozen in place, I'm gonna confront it. I'm just gonna do it. What Even if it's a house chore that I have here, excuse me, that I've been putting off. I'm like, you know what? If it makes me feel lazy about it, if it makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm just gonna confront it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing. I've been tackling things first that make me feel um, uncomfortable, and it's been working.
Yeah. I like that. I remember whenever I was growing up, I used to have to tell myself because I used to be a really shy kid. Like I didn't want to talk to anybody. I used to have to tell myself like, if you want friends, you need to start talking. So like
Mm,
it's like that. Like I had to like
that's
it's like you just have to
terrifying.
tell yourself, yeah, I don't want to be the kid in class that has no friends. Like
Yeah.
that was so scary to me. Like that was more scary than like me talking to people. I was just like, yeah, just do it. Just talk to people. It'll be fine. So I get it. I love that though. Okay, so one last question before we get to the final question of the day. This is kind of a fun question. So, if you had a bit of magic dust that you could sprinkle in one spot of your business, where would it be?
On the money pile.
On the money.
I'm kidding. So it would definitely be on my office space. Because what I want to offer everybody is more than what I'm probably able to. Like I want more for people to experience. I want them to get the full experience. I want them to be like, wow, like
Yeah.
yeah, this is a cool space. It's not just like bare walls and like a lecture for Monday through Friday kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
like a cool trendy place or whatever, but it will get there. But yeah, that's probably what I want, the best for my students coming in for sure.
Yeah. I definitely, yeah. I love that. Okay. So before we get into the final question of the day, share with the audience how they can follow you and learn more and contact you.
Okay, yeah. So I'm horrible with my social media, guys. I'm so sorry. Follow me on my LinkedIn is probably going to be my best, to be honest, because that's where I give my most news and sort of that's where it's more beneficial for me to actually make updates because I have a large network. Everyone is waiting for this, and so I'm kind of updating them as well, right? But my LinkedIn is just my first name, Abner Hinojo. And I'm making my Technical Sciences LLC page very soon. I just finalized the logo like 2 days ago. And so now I'm able
Oh,
to kind of do, all the stuff, right? I'm able to do the shirts, the cards, the logo for the page, right? So
Oh,
it's
nice.
all in steps. The good thing is I've done this before. It's just been years ago, but I'm like I knew I was able to do it back then, so I know I can do it now. So now I'm just kind of
Right.
like, in what order of operations does this need to happen? But yeah, yeah. Follow me on
Almost like
LinkedIn,
a
guys.
refresher.
Yeah, it is,
Okay.
man. Yeah, it is.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so the final question of the day is, what is most inspiring to you today?
What is most inspiring for me today? I would say, I'm gonna say it, man, and this sounds very douchey. It's me. It's me. I'm very inspired by myself. I think what I'm doing is crazy given given where I've come from, um, my background, my financial background, like everything. I think what I'm doing, I'm holding down, a full-time job. I have this other business that I started that is doing well. I'm still operating it, and then I'm trying to still make this other business happen. And I'm very moved by it, to be honest. I think I've done finally enough to where I'm like, wow, like keep going, man. Like
Yeah,
you're a big motivator, and people see me, and people, whenever my self-doubts kick in, I see these people that are like, when I post an update of like these boards I'm working on, people are like, "Oh man, like that's so cool, Abner. Like you're doing so great," or this and that. I'm just so proud of myself in those moments that I'm just like, I need to keep going because these people need something. And these are not like my friends that are as um, accomplished as me, like in their own business or maybe more, or
hmm
electrical engineers making a whole bunch of money. Like it's not these people, it's the people that are maybe didn't have a college educated background or are in lower paying jobs, or just had a rougher time than I did, right?
yeah.
Further in
I
life.
think because your story, it sounds like that would be inspiring. Like you should just write a book. You know what I mean? Um, I think about it sometimes. My life's not that interesting though, because I didn't go through anything. I feel like, but hearing you, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would read it, or at least
Yeah.
like if you went on like a podcast or something, I would listen. Like it just sounds
Yeah.
very interesting. Like I want to know more about you, even though like I just learned a little bit about you. But yeah, it's like I want to know more.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I get I don't know. It's very emotional because I also, I did this without a father figure growing up. I really wish
yeah,
I did. I really wish I had one, during core moments in my life. And
hmm
but you know what? Like my mom is so proud. My sisters are so proud. Um, you
and
know,
that's the best.
people
Like
are,
at least the family that's there, they're super proud of you and they're supporting you in
yeah.
all of your endeavors.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And so, it makes me realize that like whatever you want, it's so cliche, but whatever you want to do, you can do it. You just have to keep wanting it. If you really want
Yeah,
it, make the little steps, whether it's like even doing initial research or write what your own version of your own business plan looks like before you even go and write an official business plan for some loan or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
what does that look like to you, and just, keep wanting it, keep wanting it, you only have one life. I tell my wife this all the time. You only have one life. Like, dude, why do I want to why do I want to spend this one time that I have on earth doing anything else than besides something that I really love to do, whether it's my work or whether it's the business, you know,
yeah. I
basically.
love that. I love you. Like I'm saying, I love you. I don't know you, but like I just love like this
I love you too.
conversation. This was such a great conversation. I really enjoyed hearing your story. So thank you for sharing. And also, I just encourage all of you watching to save the show and come back and watch it again because Abner definitely really did have some great insights for business. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can get the notifications every time a new conversation drops, just like this one. Thanks to everyone wow, I can't speak today. Thanks to everyone who joined us today, and a special thank you to you, Abner, for being here with us today. We really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.